Hey, Pastor Kim. So great to see you. Thank you so much for taking, I know you are a busy youth pastor. You're taking time out of your day to communicate with me in regards to Whitewater Camp. Yay, we got Whitewater coming up. What are the dates on that?
The dates are July 2nd through the 6th. 2nd through the 6th.
Yes, there's been some discrepancies online that we are fixing, and so it is confirmed at July 2nd through the 6th. Kim, how long have you been doing Whitewater Camp? Do you even remember or know?
Yes, this is our 16th year.
Seriously,
Yes,
16th year. That
16th.
is incredible.
And we are really excited to go. I mean, every year we know the people who own the campground. They are personal friends of ours. And let's just say that my kids have spent more years at this camp than anywhere else.
What is it that makes this camp so different?
Well, this camp is different because, well, for one thing, you're tent camping and you are out in one of the most beautiful places in the world. You get to go whitewater rafting during the day. And in the morning, you are sandwiched between devotions. And then at night, you have a service. And you get to know the other youth pastors in the youth groups so intimately. But you are also, there's just something really special about this place because being in nature and being away from all these distractions, you get to have an intimacy with the Lord that I don't think that a lot of students get. And it's just such a special thing. I know that our students over the years have made such great relationships with other teenagers from different youth groups all across Northern California and Nevada. And, they go to college together. They talk about, man, do you remember that night when we were all praying and God called me into youth ministry that night? I have a young man who last year at camp, he came up at the end and he goes, I'm scared. And I was like, why are you scared? And he goes, because I've been running from this for about the last 3 years. 3 years ago at this camp, right near that tree, God told me I'm going to be a youth pastor.
Wow.
So he said, would you pray for me? And he said, and can we get some of the other youth pastors that have been with us this week? And so there were some of the other youth pastors, and we all prayed over this young man. And now he is enrolled in Biola University, and he is going to be youth pastor.
Oh my gosh, how awesome.
We have kids that they have come in and they've said, you know what? God just told me that I've been living and believing these lies about myself, feeling like I'm not worthy enough to do something great for God. But you know what? I feel like I need to go, and I'm going to go to the mission field. And that was 2 girls this last year, and they came home, and one of them, she is finishing a YWAM long-term mission trip in Thailand. And so I just talked to her parents last week, and they said, yeah, she's coming home this summer, but she is wanting to get involved and get her license as an Assemblies of God minister so she can be. And so, I mean, to me, it's like we have stories like that over and over again.
Yeah.
And when we break up into our small groups, there is really a lot of accountability, and these kids start talking about things that they've been dealing with. Our guys go really deep about their thought life, about how that when they go home, who they're going to be accountable to with the things that they put in front of their eyes.
Yeah.
Or am I the only person that has ever dealt with this? And it's a great opportunity for our leaders to be vulnerable and say, no, listen, you're a man, and this is how a man deals with this. We're going to walk alongside of you. We're going to give you tools to help you so that you can be successful. And with the girls, we have done something the last few years where we put them, the girls kind of call it, we've always done something in our youth group called honor chair, to where that we put a student in the middle. And usually the Holy Spirit will let me know it's a kid who's having a difficult time, but we'll put them in the middle and we will speak words of life into them. But this last few years, we've done something called speed honor chair. So we'll put all the girls facing each other, And we will give them 1 minute. And what they do is they say great things about the person that's seated in right across from them for 1 minute. And then we hit a buzzer, and then they switch, and they speak words of life to every single girl.
Wow.
Sitting there. And at the end, I ask them, what were the things that you heard over and over about yourself more than 2 times? And they go, someone told me that I've made an impact in their life, or someone said that I'm kind, or someone said that like I'm faithful, or that I'm talented. And it has done so much for our female young ladies and their self-esteem.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
You know, at a regular camp, you don't have that extra time to like say, hey, you know what we're going to do right now? We're just going to talk.
Yeah.
And to invest that time, not to mention we get to go whitewater rafting. I mean, and here's one of the things that my students always say is that the river guides, who happen to be college students, who happen to be nice looking for us while they're there. They were 13, so they're funny, but it's a great place to go to camp.
So if you're talking to our youth pastors right now, what type of students should they bring? Should they bring only their students who are wanting to go into leadership, or should they bring all their students? Is it open to everyone? It's a different type of camp. So if you're talking to a youth pastor right now, what would you say?
I've done it both ways.
Okay.
I've done it both ways, but how I approach it and how I'm approaching it this year is I'm inviting everybody who wants to go. But 3 weeks before we go, I start telling them we're going to have these meetings to get ready for leadership camp. Okay. Because once you go, we're going to tell you that you're a leader. We're going to expect you to act like a leader. And just by the very nature of telling them that I'm going to expect them to be a leader, these kids act more mature. They engage more because we have this years of saying you're going to be a leader.
That's good.
And it doesn't mean that you have to lead in front of anyone. We want you to be an example. We want you to realize that everybody who goes here is going to engage in worship. Everybody who goes here is going to take notes in the devotion. Everybody who goes here is going to be involved. This is not a place where you can just, I don't know if I feel like doing it. This is a camp where you go and you get as much as you give out.
That's great. I love that. 3 weeks before, telling them this is how the camp is. We're bringing you to a leadership camp. This is how a leader acts. A leader takes notes. A leader engages. I love it. That is great. Kim, thank you so much for your time and for investing in this camp, for investing not only in the young people of Harbor Light and Fremont, but in our entire district. You and Pastor Dave are investing in our entire district, in our young people. And so that is one of the goals of this youth department for Student Ministries Department for 2019 was widening and opening up more of a pipeline for young people going into ministry, because we're finding that so many churches are saying, Shar, we need youth pastors, we need children's pastors. You know, Pastor Kim, we don't have the Master's Commission of yesteryear to pull from, which we had about 18 of those, and we had these internship programs. And so we are now having to widen the pipeline and say, hey, we have to create events, we have to create moments, we have to create trainings for young people. And so this is just another tool to be able to open the pipeline for young people to become leaders in their youth group, leaders in life, future leaders in the church. So thank you for everything you guys do. And again, youth pastors, it is July 2 through 6.
Yes.
So thank you so much, Pastor Kim. You are wonderful. I appreciate you. Okay. Bye-bye.